Just like we have immense variety as we move across the art of Africa, of course, we're going to see the same with contemporary art. With this difference, when we get into contemporary African art, we're always dealing with an issue of hybridization. How has the culture that we're looking at, the African culture, been affected by the West? Because, of course, it has by this point, especially in the 20th century. So we don't really see a classification because of the sheer amount of variety that we see throughout Africa, even with contemporary art. And we start with Piula, who's from the Democratic Republic of the Congo and trains in Western artistic techniques, where he learns to fuse Western and traditional arts, techniques, and ideas. And he's most interested in the westernization of his culture in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, as you can see here, where he literally shows this mother and child figure, one of which, or a similar figure we've already looked at, which has been whitewashed, quite literally. But the piece we're actually looking at is Ta Tele. So Congolese citizens began being able to watch life beyond Congo's borders. In the 1980s, television is coming into the Congo, and this is broadcast television, where you only have so many channels. You would have 3 or 4 channels. And, of course, they're all vying for viewers, and people are going to start paying attention to what's on television. And, of course, those channels are not being produced locally. They're not being produced in the Congo. They're being brought in, primarily from Europe. Remember, colonization. Now, colonization isn't there in the 70s and 80s, but the influence is still in existence. So what they're seeing is television shows where they see exotic places, Western interests, and ideas. And they're changing because suddenly things that they would never have been concerned about in the past become major concerns now. Western fashion, for example, or Western consumables. The figure that we see in the middle represents a indigenous deity. So in this case, a figure of power associated with war and divination. Then we have that feather headdress, which makes the figure supernatural. In this case, referring to the antenna required for television. So bringing in that idea of television. Then the television screens in the background, or in the figure, replaces where the medicine would normally go, where we would see that cowrie shell, for example. So the television is taking on a mystical power in and of itself. And when we look at the colors overall, you'll notice that these are very deadened colors. These are earth tones. They aren't vibrant. The only vibrant colors are from the televisions. Sort of saying that these figures, that the people watching are becoming zombies to Western culture. So the white and earth tones refer to the land of the dead. And basically TV is poisoning the minds of the Congolese as if by magic. If you look at the back of their heads, there are of course these different images being shown, worrying about shoes, or fashion, or cars, all sorts of different items. And these items are things that are coming in from the outside that are, as the artist sees it, polluting the Congolese, destroying their own indigenous culture and replacing it with the culture of the West.